Omniscient Reader's Viewpoint, or ORV, is a web novel that begins when an ordinary office worker, Dokja, finds the world turning into the plot of his favorite novel, 3 Ways to Survive the Apocalypse. It's a story about stories, where fiction literally becomes reality, and readers like Dokja hold the power to rewrite fate. In an instant, reality bends into fiction. Survival is no longer about living well, it's about playing your role well. But here's the catch. In a world of scripts, scenarios, and supporting characters, who really matters more? The people, with their raw emotions and dreams, or the characters, constructed by an author's hand, perfected for a narrative? Dokja is forced to grapple with this, and so are we. For Dokja, the world is full of characters he already knows. He's read about their struggles, triumphs, and deaths 1,000 times. To him, Joonghyuk isn't just a man. He's the protagonist, a collection of traits: stoic, indomitable, broken, someone written to endure, to never give up, no matter how many times he fails. But here's the irony: the more Dokja interacts with him, the more Joonghyuk feels real, messy, unpredictable, human. Characters, he realizes, aren't just words on a page. They're people, living their own versions of suffering, without even knowing it's fiction. And in this terrifying new world, treating someone as just a character can be fatal, not just to them, but to your own humanity. Think about it. When you see someone only for their role, as a villain, a support, a background extra, you stop seeing their soul. ORV weaponizes this. The scenarios force people into roles where their only value is how entertainingly they suffer. And Dokja, he starts the novel thinking like a reader: if I save the protagonist, I win. And just like the constellations, we sometimes watch from behind screens, craving drama, forgetting there are people beneath the plot. And it's tempting, isn't it? Even Dokja sometimes calculates who to save and who to leave behind, based on their narrative value. After all, if you know who's going to die anyway, why waste your heart on them? But every time he chooses to care anyway, every time he treats a character like a person, the world changes. Not just externally, but inside himself. Now, let's focus on Joonghyuk. In the beginning, he's the quintessential character, the regressor, the invincible warrior, the cold-hearted hero. Joonghyuk is the tragedy of every protagonist we've ever idolized. He's not a hero, he's a slave. His power is a time loop, his destiny is to suffer, and his character arc is a noose tightening with every regression. He fails to save those he loves, losing bits of his soul each time, reliving hell eternally, each life more hollow than the last. The novel's meta-genius: the more real he becomes, the more he rages, breaks, weeps, the less he fits the flawless hero mold. Dokja's turning point: when he stops seeing Joonghyuk as a weapon, and realizes, this is a man who's forgotten how to want anything but an ending. And that's the tragedy. He's written to be perfect, but what makes him meaningful is that he breaks, feels, and fights anyway. The best characters aren't perfect, they're alive, even when their world is fake. And for Dokja, recognizing his pain, beyond the role he's supposed to play, is what turns him from a reader into a true companion. The message is clear: a character only matters when we choose to see the person beneath the story. Throughout ORV, Dokja evolves. At first, he uses his knowledge to survive, treating the world like a book he already finished. But little by little, he realizes, survival is not victory, control is not compassion, predicting someone's life isn't the same as living alongside them. In the end, when faced with the choice to manipulate the world like an author, or to trust in the messy, unpredictable hearts of people, Dokja chooses people. Even when it's harder, even when it means losing, he chooses to believe that people are more than their roles, more than their narrative value. They are real, they matter, even when no one's watching, even when there's no story left to tell. In the end, Dokja dies again and again, not to save a story, but to prove that every person, no matter how small their role, deserves to be seen. And that's ORV's revolution. The omniscient reader isn't the one who sees everything, it's the one who chooses to see everyone. So, which is worth more, people or characters? Omniscient Reader's Viewpoint gives a clear answer. People are not valuable because they're interesting. They're valuable because they exist. Dokja's legacy isn't that he won, it's that he looked at a world built on narratives and said, no, you don't get to tell me who matters. In the end, we are all the heroes of our own stories. Not because we're perfect characters, but because we're stubborn, broken, beautiful people trying to live. And maybe that's the greatest story of all. ORV blurs the line between fiction and reality. If you were in Kim Dokja's place, would you treat people differently, knowing they were once just characters? Do you think when Dokja sacrifices himself again and again for the story, is he choosing imaginary meaning over real life? Let's discuss in the comments. Thanks for watching. If this changed how you see stories, like. If it changed how you see people, subscribe. Stay curious.